Hello friends, welcome back to Edu World. This is part 2 of 20 rules for transformation. If you haven't seen my first video, I have given the link in the description box and it's right there on the I button. You can go and check it out there. Do watch this video till the end, so let's get started. Rule 11 is if plus negative is equal to unless plus positive. Let's see the example. If he does not pay the bill, he cannot return. Not lay stress on if plus negative. Let's see the answer. Unless he pays the bill, he cannot return. It is not written that unless he does not pay the bill. It's written unless he pays the bill, which is positive. So remember that unless is equivalent to not. Therefore, if plus negative is equal to unless plus positive. Our rule 12 is either or. Either or is used in a sentence in the affirmative sense when referring to a choice between two possibilities. Let's see the example. Leave the job, better yourself. Either better yourself or leave the job. Let's see our another example. If you cannot face the principal, Parul will have to. Either you or Parul will have to face the principal. This answer is wrong. Our correct answer is either you face the principal or Parul will have to. Neither nor. For example, schools are not like prisons, nor they are a form of business. You have to begin the sentence with neither. Neither are schools prisons, nor are they a form of business. Our rule 13 includes as soon as, no sooner, and hardly. First, as soon as. As soon as is followed by a comma, simply. Next, no sooner. In no sooner, we use do, does, did, and then we use than. Hardly. In hardly, we use do, does, had, and then we use when. Please note that when the question is in present tense, we use do or does with no sooner and hardly. And when the question is in past tense, we use did with no sooner and had with hardly. You generally get question in past tense in your board examinations. Let's see the example. When the question is in present tense, for example, as soon as the principal walks into the hall, there is an absolute silence. The answer is converted into no sooner and hardly. Let's see the no sooner one. No sooner does the principal walk into the hall than there is an absolute silence. In hardly sentence, hardly does the principal walk into the hall when there is an absolute silence. What is important to note here is with does, we never use s in the verb. Let's see the note. You have already studied 3 forms of the verb in your lower classes like walk, walked, walked, leave, left, left. You have to remember 2 points over here. With do, does and did, we use first form of the verb, that is leave or walk, and with has, have and had, we use third form of the verb like walked or left. With 3 D's like do, does, did, we use first form of the verb, and with 3 ch, we use third form of the verb. So remember this. Let's see the example. If you get the question in past tense and you have to convert it into no sooner and hardly, let's see the example. As soon as the teacher left, the boys began to shout. We have to convert it into no sooner and hardly. First, no sooner. No sooner did the teacher leave, that is the first form of the verb, than the boys began to shout. And with hardly, hardly had the teacher left, that is the third form of the verb, when the boys began to shout. So remember the form of the verb we have to use with did and had. Rule 14 is very important. Little is always followed by did. Let's see the example. Raman never thought she would win the contest. You will be asked to begin the sentence with little. Little did Raman think she would win the contest. Think is highlighted, you know the reason why. Because with did we use first form of the verb. Our rule 15 is notwithstanding. With notwithstanding, we use comma. Notwithstanding meaning not considering or not being influenced by or in spite of the fact or despite. Let's see the example. He ventured into the jungle despite warnings from friends. You will be asked to begin the sentence with notwithstanding. Notwithstanding warnings from friends, comma, he ventured into the jungle. Here is a reminder for you all. If this video is being helpful, do give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and subscribe EduWorld. Rule number 16 is comprises. With comprises, we never use of. Let's see the example. The cricket team consists of 11 players. You have to use comprises in this sentence. The cricket team comprises 11 players. With consists, we use of but not with comprises. Our rule number 17 is but for. But for is equal to if it had not been for or if it were not for. Let's see the example. If Raj had not been there, comma, my life would not have been safe. You have to begin the sentence with but for. But for Raj's presence, comma, my life would not have been safe. Our rule number 18 is under the impression that, meaning believe that something is true when it is not, which is equal to think. Let's see the example. He thought the examination would be held later due to the pandemic. You have to begin this sentence by he was. He was under the impression that the examination would be held later due to the pandemic. Our rule 19 is question tags. Question tags are of two types, positive tags and negative tags. Positive tags. When the statement is negative, the question tag is positive. Example, Sahil is not home. Is he? I don't often make mistakes, comma. Do I? Negative tags are a vice versa of positive tags. When the statement is positive, the question tag is negative. Example, Rituja is very intelligent, isn't she? The heat has become scorching, hasn't it? Let's see the note. As you all know, when a negative tag is formed, then the contracted form is used in the tag part. Example, she is eating, is not she. You will not write this. You will write she is eating, isn't she? Using expanded form is not appropriate in tag, as you all know. So contracted forms should be used. Amn't, that is am not, is not accepted in the usage. Whenever am plus not is used in the sentence, then its contracted form is aren't. Our rule 20 is not a perfect rule, but it's for you to remember. Unlikely is equal to doubtful, not expected, or improbable. For example, the local team is sure to lose the next game. You have to use unlikely in this sentence. The answer is, it is unlikely that the local team will win the next game. Win is highlighted as the opposite is used. You should also remember compare favorably is equal to be as good as. For example, if you get the question, Indian textiles are as good as foreign ones. You might think a lot, or you would write the answer Indian textiles are as good as compared to foreign ones. Compared changes the form. So the answer would be Indian textiles compare favorably with foreign ones. You don't have to change the form. In all probability, this phrase can replace probably in a sentence. For example, Jasdeep has probably forgotten the date of his mother's birthday. In all probability, Jasdeep has forgotten the date of his mother's birthday. We all know, but we still make mistakes with this part. With both, we never use of. For example, neither of our sons help her with housework. You will never write off with both. Like in this sentence, both of her sons never help her with housework. The correct answer is both her sons never help her with housework. So, friends, these were the 20 rules which I tried to cover, but still, degree of comparison and direct indirect speech is left, which I will cover in my next video. I didn't want to make this video much longer, so I hope you liked this video and understood these 20 rules. Thank you everyone for watching this video. If you found this video helpful, do comment down below. Thank you.